Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for today's writing tip. I'm Staci Mauney, co-owner, editor, and writer at PrestigeProse.com. Today I want to share from a resource that I told you all about in my last video. The 12 Fatal Flaws of Fiction Writing was written by 5 editors and contains some really great self-editing tips. In this book, the editors tackle each fatal flaw with specific examples so that you can see what they're talking about with each flaw rather than just explaining what that flaw might be. This book would be great to add to your writing resource library when you get a chance. The first fatal flaw that I want to talk about is the first one mentioned in the book, and that is overwriting. According to the authors, it's the most common flaw that they see, and I know I see a lot of that as well in my own editing business. So let's define overwriting. Overwriting is characterized by wordiness, unnecessary detail, and repetition, among other things. There's a fine line between effective description and too much detail. So how can you recognize overwriting in your own work? Look for the following signs. The first one is boring details. Consider whether the details you've included add to the story or if they're just extra words that increase the word count. Every word should help move your story forward, and the more you practice your writing and choosing your words carefully, the easier that will become, and the easier it will become to eliminate those excessive words, boring words. So the next thing is excessive descriptions. Can you describe the scene or the action with fewer words? Tighter writing. Are you using vague words and phrases? Always be specific when possible. Words such as, or phrases such as it was, there were, and words ending in ing or ly, replace those with strong nouns and verbs. Those weaken your writing, so you want to eliminate those as much as possible. And the next one is repetition. Don't use the same adjectives or nouns close together. It's very noticeable when you do that. Also, don't use 2 adjectives to describe the same thing. It's not necessary. Another one to look out for is excessive punctuation. When we text or post on social media, a lot of times we really go for the exclamation points and want to make sure that people understand our excitement or the point we're trying to get across. Don't do that in your manuscript. Eliminate excessive punctuation, excessive exclamation points, and exclamation points should only be used sparingly throughout your manuscript anyway. Definitely don't use multiple exclamation points together, and don't use a question mark and an exclamation point together in your manuscript. That's not necessary either. And the final thing to look out for are stage directions. This is where you list the character's actions without any corresponding thought or emotion. It's just what that character's doing. So those are the tips, and remember, don't write a whole paragraph when you can say what you need to say in a sentence or 2. Make sure any detail that you add to your story adds sensory or emotional aspects to your story that wouldn't be there otherwise. And the bottom line is make every word count. I hope this video was helpful to you. Thanks for watching, and happy writing.